Good evening and welcome to my live this evening. My name's Jenny McCormack and I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, and that is here in the UK. Good evening to you. It is currently just after 7 p.m. on, let me see, Thursday the 15th of August. I must always sound so surprised when I give out the date and time to you, but if you're watching live, a warm welcome to you. Do say hi and let me know that you're watching. I haven't got my mobile with me, so I can't see who else is watching along, unless you make a comment, and then I will see it. If you're watching on replay, whether that is here on Facebook or on YouTube, then a warm welcome to you too. And if you have any queries or questions, don't hesitate to put those in the comment section on whichever platform you're watching from, so whether that is Facebook or YouTube. And if there's a question that requires a response, I will endeavour to answer that, and most of the time I manage to catch all of them. Occasionally one will slip through the net, so if it is a question that requires a response and I haven't responded, don't hesitate to post it again, or email me or message me, or leave a message on my Facebook page. So on Monday we used this lovely stamp set called Sketched Butterflies to make a card. And that was going to be my coffee and card design. That was my coffee and card design, and the first design for our stamp set of the week. So I went to coffee and card on Tuesday and we used that, and I created another card which I then photographed. I carefully brought them home and left them in the top of one of my Stampin' Up bags, and my dear, I won't say little puppy, my dear puppy Woody decided he quite liked these cards, and so he took himself off with the cards and did rather munch them up. And I had them, they're still, you can still see them, you can't, I wouldn't send them because they've got teeth marks and bent corners, and so I put them somewhere safe that he wouldn't get them again. So safe that I now can't find them, but the photographs as they were are on my Facebook page, and when I find them I will photograph the finished ones with the teeth marks. So this evening I'm stepping this up a little, and I have an experimental card. So this is the stamp set that we use, and that has 4 main butterfly images, and then this set of 4 down here. These 4 little ones are all in one stamp. In addition to that, there are some dies. So these 4 dies cut out those 4 butterfly images. So you can stamp the image, pop the die cut around it, run it through a die cutting machine. These will all fit through the mini die cutting machine if you have one of those. They'll also obviously fit through the large one. And then in addition to that, there are 4 more dies. We have this one here that cuts out a line of 3 butterflies that are attached together. Obviously you could cut those out and then snip them apart if you wanted to. We have this one that cuts out this little butterfly here, and I've just stuck it in the center so you get a 3D effect, and I'll bring this up to the camera in a second. We also have this one that does the detail, and then a solid one, and if I lift these wings up here and bring it up to the screen, that's the solid one underneath in the red cardstock. And then this is the single one that I've just placed on top, so you can put the 2 together. Let me lift that up to the camera. So we've got the 3 together, we've got 2 single detailed ones and 1 single solid one, as well as these 4 here that cut out these stamps. Okay, so my thought, which might be quite dangerous, was to do some partial die cutting. So I'm actually going to do it in white. I think I may play around with the colours, but I'm going to do it in white because you can see a little bit more clearly what elements we are cutting. Okay, calm down you two. Thank you. And we're going to use that one of them all together. So let me put those safely away in the container. So it's just started raining again this evening, just because I need to go and walk the dogs later, of course. Okay, so my plan, careful Woody, leave her alone, sorry, this is my base card here, and I've got a score line in the middle, like so. I might have to put him in his crate, he's getting a bit too excited. And then my plan is to place these butterflies and create an edge of a card so that these butterflies come out, and then place a piece of designer paper behind them. Now, I haven't decided which paper I'm going to use. So the theory being, going to have a line there. I'm going to cut out 2 lots of those because I think they would just about fit. And then where that piece is cut out, I'm going to have some designer paper behind. So that's my theory. And what we need to do for that is to position this on my card. I'm going to open the card up, and I think what I'm going to do is draw some pencil lines so you can see how I'm achieving this. Hi Brenda, good evening to you. So what I'm going to do is position this and then draw a line, and the edges of these butterflies are going to be over the line, because if I just run that whole thing through, it will just cut out the butterflies, which has actually just given me another idea, which is to have a panel with those on. So watch this space. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's draw a line with a ruler, because I can always if this works, and I say if this works, I can recreate this. And I do want a little bit of a gap here, so let's just try, and I'm going to put the line on the front, but if I was doing this for a card, I might well put that line on the inside, and then I'm going to overlap that, and then if I just do a little mark here, will it fit? Just going to fit. Okay, so what I want to do is ensure that this is right at the very top that it can be. And then when we've cut it out, what I'm going to do is cut along this line here, so that this piece is then also cut out, so you just get the border full of butterflies. Hi Caroline, I hope you're well. So that is my plan. I'm going to use some just some post-it notes to hold it in place. I don't want it to move. And also, when I put it on my move these little bits off on my plates, what I'm going to do is, these are my plates here. Sorry they're in a bit of a state, but I do use them all the time. Is I'm going to place this on here. I'm going to have my butterflies overlapping, and then I'm going to take my top plate. I suddenly realised I've changed the microphone, so I hope it's clear enough. I'm going to have my top plate only coming to where that line is, so I can run it right the way through, but these edges won't be cut, and it will stay, hopefully stay where it is, where it should be. So can you see that? So I've drawn my line here, that's going to be my edge, and then these butterflies are going to come out around it. Now I don't know if that's going to give us enough detail, because what we're going to do is cut that off, and then you'll see the designer paper effectively in this panel. So let's just give it a go. I haven't tried it, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. So let's grab some post-it notes, and I do like these clear post-it notes because you can see exactly where it is. So this is my card base, this is the front, and I want my butterfly as far up as I can, and I want it just to go over the edge, and the edge of this butterfly die is right on the edge, so I don't need to allow any more space. So I think that will work. If it doesn't, we can have another go, can't we? It won't matter. Like that, and that. And I want to make sure that my plate goes on only up to this line that I've got there. Okay, I'm not going to bring my machine up, I'm going to do that over here. So bear with me 1 second while I do that. Just making sure it's lined up to that edge that I drew. Bring this back to show you, hopefully. So if I peel this away, this little post-it note and this one. Oh, these two. Didn't realise I had two there. So what that has done is it's cut the edge of those butterflies. So I'm going to put another one here. I'm hoping it's going to fit. It's going to be a little bit tight. I could have it slightly more angles like that. I think that's going to work. So next time I do it, I could angle that a little bit further, but as long as I've got a little bit of the die over the line on one, if not both, then we should be okay. So let's stick that down and give it a go. Let's bring it back a little bit. And I will lift this up to the screen again so you can see it. What are you up to, Woody? Okay, so I position this over my line, and then I'm going to put my top plate along that line. Yes. Would you come? You leave my pens alone. Oh, disappointed. Right. Yes. You're very clever. Okay, so fingers crossed. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the top of my plate there, and then I can use that line for cutting along. Oh, careful. Would you have to leave me alone? Right, I'm lining it up again. I know you can't see it, I'm sorry. Okay, right. Let's see if it's worked. Okay, so taking those two off, taking my die cut out. Yes. Okay, so can you see I've got that edge? Let me just trim this a little bit off so you can see that a bit clearer, and then I'll show you how we trim the line. Now obviously butterflies are particularly fiddly for this. You can do this with all sorts of, just a single flower shape is very good. Okay, so can you see that we've now got that edge? If I lift that up, I'm going to poke out the little pieces, but if I fold this now, okay, we're going to cut this, all of this element out, so we end up with these on the right hand side. Hi Lynn, lovely to have you join me. Right, I just need to take this dog out because he's playing with the electric plugs. Bear with me 1 second. Right, apologies for that. I was hoping he was going to be patient enough, but I should have known. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just poke out those extra pieces and then cut along the edges. So this is called partial die cutting. And you can also do something similar with punches as well. Like that. And this of course is thick white card, so it needs a little bit of a helping hand with these pieces. I suppose perhaps I should have done the cutting first, because then if it goes astray. So let's do that perhaps. Okay, so now I'm going to get my trimmer and I'm going to use the line that I drew here to cut down, but making sure that I don't cut through the wings that are connected. And what I'm actually going to do to make my life easier, because I can't get straight over it because of the camera, I'm going to just draw a line here and here, 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 and there, so that I know that's where I need to stop cutting, and hopefully I can see that. So, and there is a line on our trimmers, so basically all I'm doing is lining that up with the line behind. And if in doubt, stop and check. Okay, So what I'm doing is cutting this piece, this piece, this piece and this piece out. Let's do a little bit from the top, because that's nice and easy. Okay, so before I go any further, I'm going to see what bits I've cut and what I need to cut. So I'm just using my scissors so the top piece has come off. That's that one there, that's that piece there, and then this one. I haven't quite put the die edge right up, so just cutting that little bit out. This piece should come, and again that's that one and that one. So I hope you can see the effect that we're going to have. And then this one, just a small area to cut, so I'm hoping because you're all watching, I don't want to overcook it. Let's just cut that like that. You don't want to tear it away because you'll end up with a frayed edge of your butterfly. So you do need to be a little bit patient with it, but I'm pleased with that finished effect. There we go. Okay, let's take that away for a second. And you'll see the effect that we have. I'm going to pop all these little pieces out, but can you see how that has come together? Caroline says I'm so clever. Well, I'm not clever. I didn't design this partial die cutting. I did think this would be a good way of trying it out, and it so far seems to be working. So let's just carefully push these pieces out. If you've got the take your pick tool with the little brush, you can use the brush to get these out. What I would say is they're quite delicate, so just be careful. You don't want to spoil your hard work. Okay. And if you've got a mat or anything, it's easier to put that underneath as well. Okay. So Brenda, you're pleased to hear that you're not having to die cut this bit for our class, but my class does involve some butterflies this time. Right. So this could be coloured card. I did think it would look quite striking with a black card. I have to say I've actually run out of complete sheets of black card after our last class, but I was thinking black on that would look really stunning. The other thing you could do is cut out a coloured one of those and put it on top, having done the partial die cutting. So let me just pop these out whilst you talk amongst yourselves. And the ones that are very close in here, haven't cut right through because I've stopped the die. So I'm happy to leave those, but if it annoyed you, you could use a little craft knife and just cut the last little bits off. I'm just going for the effect of the butterflies on the edge. So my next thing is to decide what panel of paper is going to go behind. And you could either put the whole panel on the back, and I have got to rub out all those lines as well. So I think that will be enough for our purposes. Very often they're still attached at the back, so they, when you're not looking, they pop back in. Lots of bits. Okay, so if we take this particular piece, this may not be what I choose, then what we can do is either we can have this attached to the back and leave that open, and you can have a message here. However, this is quite delicate, so what I'd be tempted to do is attach this to the back of the front if you wanted to, and then you'd open it up and then you get a scene here, and then you've got space to write your message. But you could do it either way. You could also just put a panel here, and with the waist here you could put it on the front, so you've got a complete piece. So I might just try that, and then I don't have to rub out my lines. So let's just measure this. Oh, this is in inches. I'll cope with that. Oh, 2 inches exactly. I couldn't have done that if I tried, could I? So I'm not sure which of these I'm going to use. Let's just try this side here. Just going to make it slightly bigger, like so, because I don't want any gaps. So we could do that and that. Ooh. Now I've got too many choices. So I can either have the scene, so this fits perfectly, almost as if I designed it, and I can show you I didn't, like so. I honestly can't decide. What do you think? Have it sort of completely across like that, or thank you, Brenda. So you could also have just a panel like that, cut that off and put that there. Or have that and put a plain panel behind. Oh dear. Too much choice, I think. Or plain. No, it's too plain. Definitely too plain. This needs to be patterned for sure. Right. Let me have a quick look at some of my other patterns from this set of papers, because this is the papers that we're using for class. So you've got a mix of watercolour and scenery. This is a bit wintry, isn't it, really? That one. You don't tend to see butterflies in the winter. What does Brenda say? Oh, just looking good so far. Thank you. That would be quite nice. So that piece, and then the rest of that on the right. Should we try that? And what's on the reverse? The blue. Okay, so let's go for, I'll go for that 2 inches. Now I've got multiple pieces. Whether I've got multiple pieces of that is another matter. So, thinking that along there, and that one underneath. What do we think? And then that could be left for your sentiment here, or you could stick the whole thing together like that and have your sentiment here. Oh dear. Decisions to be made. Or just a contrast behind. I think I like this. I think I like that. So the good news is I don't need to rub out any of those marks. I'm going to pop this on the top and then trim the very top edge off. So this is the Thoughtful Journey paper. And I'm going to put this on, take my glasses off, and line this up with the edge. Like so. And I'm just going to trim that tiny little bit off. Could do that with the trimmer if you wanted to. Okay. And then this one underneath. So the only question is, do I attach it to the back, because you could have a sentiment in here and write your message. I think that is probably the cleverest. Because if you attach it together, you lose that 3D look. I don't know. What do you think, folks? Tell me. Attached to the front or attached to the back? Oh, Caroline's got no sound. Oh dear. So front or back? I just don't know. You could put happy birthday on here and then write your sentiment on the inside. Like that. Or you could have a sentiment here and write your message on the inside. I think what I'm going to do is attach it to the back. like that, because that just looks a bit cleverer, doesn't it? To the back, says Caroline. Thank you. So I'm just going to position that so it's got a tiny margin on either side, which will match up with this little margin here, just because this is 6 inches. If you wanted it straight, to be exact, then what I would do is trim this little edge off so that you didn't see it. So let's pop this on the back. But these papers are absolutely lovely. So they have scenes on one side, watercolour on the other, and watercolour papers like this are lovely for cutting butterflies out of. Right, let's get this the right way around, shall we? That would be novel. Okay, let's go. So just centralising that on my card, like that. Yeah, I like that. Just make sure it doesn't look very straight. I think we'll be alright. Trim the top off. Use the edge of the scissors up to here. Has everybody else got sound? Is it just Caroline that hasn't? There we go. Could put some ribbon around there. You could also put ribbon there. And I've got a tiny little edge here which isn't very tidy, so I'm just going to trim that. Gently. There we go. And then just poke out any pieces that haven't yet come out. So just be careful, because obviously this is quite delicate now. There we go, that's better. It's because I've cut thick card, so it just takes a little bit more persuading. And I would still use the thick card. You don't want it too flimsy. I wouldn't use thin basic white or anything else. And I quite like the fact that these aren't connected. Come on, would you come? There we go. I think that's just about all of them. It's bound to be one or two I've left behind. So there we go. Let me know what you think. So I could put a sentiment on there. I've got this nice happy birthday that would definitely fit. You could put it on a die cut. Oh, let's see. Well, that would work. It's a bit squared off though. I would use a small circle probably, or that one would work. Or you could stamp it straight on. I think stamp it straight on. So this is Mossy Meadow in here. So I think I'll use Mossy Meadow. Right, let me pop my glasses on, finish this off, and we're all done. Oh, hi Bridie, thanks for joining us. I hadn't spotted you join, I do apologise. stamp it straight on. Yes, I agree. So let's clear these little pieces away. This does have a nice wishing you a beautiful birthday and a thinking of you, which would be nice, and a thank you. But I think I'm going to pop happy birthday on there, and either Mossy Meadow or Petunia Pop or Gorgeous Grape. Too many choices. Let's see if I can locate Mossy Meadow. Either that or Espresso. It's really dull out here now and wet. Alright, let's see what I've got. I've definitely got Espresso, but I think I would like Mossy Meadow. Which I can't see. I probably buried it somewhere. Alright, let's have a look and see what this looks like. I got a scrap here. I really want it to stand out. Yeah. Thing is with sentiments, because they're finer detail, I want them to stand out, so I always go a shade darker than you might normally do. There we go. Sweet. And there we are. We're finished. So I hope you like it. You can write your message in there. And there it is. So this is called partial die cutting because you don't cut right the way through. Just to remind you, what I did was I took my card, I drew a line down here. So for anybody who missed it earlier, you can go back and watch it, obviously. So I just drew a line down there. I took my dies. I took this one first, just put the edges over there, and then when I put my top plate on, I put it up to that line. When I cut that one out, I did the same thing, like so. And then I cut along the gaps here. Here, 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 and a little bit top and bottom. Okay, so I hope you like it. I hope you give it a go. Even if you haven't got those, you can do it just with a single flower. It can come over the edge. It doesn't have to be a whole border. But I thought that would look quite nice with the butterflies. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like it. You could colour those in, you could cut another layer and put them on top, but I quite like them exactly as they are because they stand out against the background. So thank you. We did get there in the end. It was a success. It was a bit of a risk, but sometimes that pays off. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. I will be releasing my class in a box for this month, which will feature the butterflies and these lovely papers. I haven't got I've got a huge amount of them left in this pack. I will open another pack and show you, but some lovely designs. You've got some winter ones as well as summer, and then you've got all of these lovely watercolour designs as well. So thank you so much. I look forward to crafting with you soon. Don't forget we have 15% off all standard designer papers out of the annual catalogue. Oh, excellent, Bridie, and that runs right the way through to the 31st of August. So you can either order individual packs, or I am offering a paper share, which is a quarter of all of the packs that are on offer. At a special price, which I've got here somewhere. which I've just tidied away. And if I find my chewed cards, I will take a photograph and pop them up so you can see them. But the original photographs are still out there on my Facebook page, so you won't miss out on the designs. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great evening. I've just found a few more, look. And if you're watching on replay, I hope you have a good day ahead. That one would have worked as well, wouldn't it? With that panel on the left and those on the right. So thank you so much. Have fun, happy crafting, and thank you for your support. I look forward to crafting with you again really soon. Bye for now.